Never felt smoother like it.
Good.
Yeah. Nothing like having, help remember everything. Huh?
Is it something you're going to need when you interview for jobs? I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to get you to work.
Well, the thing is, like I said before, I've filled out a lot of applications after the attack in 2010. Now, after the attack, one of the problems I faced was the doctor would not sign the release form letting me go back to work, on top of the skinheads made it a point to come to my job, on top of Glenn Brooks, the general manager at the store Dollar Tree, made it a point to not stop them, intervene, or say anything to these people while they would surround me at the cash register where I worked and would threaten me. He would instead tell me that after being threatened, well, you have an attitude. We could fire you for having an attitude, but, he wouldn't say anything about me being threatened, me being, called racial names,
I'm scared. Really?
no, there was no fear. I could defend myself, there's 25 people there, I'm gonna go down swinging. There's cameras everywhere, corporate holds the videotape. So, had they actually did something right there in the store in the middle of the day, the store was open. There's a videotape rolling right there. But instead, all they did was come there to intimidate me, and Glenn Brooks would just stand there and watch, and he wouldn't say anything. And then they would leave and stand there next to my parked car.
That was the name of your employer, Glenn
Yes.
Brooks?
And that's where I worked at Dollar Tree. And so, when I would go and try to put in applications anywhere, just like I do currently, I have to write down that I worked at Dollar Tree. And like I said before, this is a man who is not going to tell the truth. He didn't before, and Mr. Gervasi is the lawyer who helped me do parts of the case, who actually asked questions about, are you going to get your job back? I know that these people, who assaulted you showed up on many occasions throughout your life, your home, where you worked, and they assaulted you on your personal time right after you got off work. What did the general manager do about when you were at work? Because he's the general manager. He had to have been there a lot of the times when you were there. So that would make him, of course, a person who had to have saw something, because how do you become a general manager? You have to be present.
Remind me, what year was that? Was that 2011?
2010.
2010.
Right. And
so 6 years ago.
Yeah, and so, to look at it and go, well,
have you not worked since then?
No.
Haven't worked one day since then?
No, I've put in applications everywhere, and Alan McCandless sent me far and wide, in which the argument with Alan McCandless is, my bank account only has X amount of money. I've had to spend my own money to go to Boise to go get surgery on that plate. It was originally a plate. But because I have sleep apnea on top of sleep insomnia, when I do fall asleep at the time, days later, I would sleep on my face and dented the plate. So I had to drive back out there. And this was multiple surgeries for just the first plate, on top of checkups just to find out the first plate is dented because of sleep apnea and me sleeping on my face, followed by a second surgery, multiple checkups to find out that plate is also dented because of sleep.
Did you have a plate in every day?
No, it got replaced by a screw, which I could feel all the time.
Okay.
And there's a bump. If you feel right here, you feel it right there. Just rub around, you feel that? I feel that right now. Without you.
Can't really.
And then all this right here.
Where your jaw joint is.
And then all this right here, completely numb.
Down. Was it broken?
Fractured.
Okay.
When the doctor worked on it, he had to break it to fix it. So
tell us what you've done in the last couple weeks. Have you done some job applications?
actually, I did do some job applications before we actually met up, like I told you. So to
Yes,
accomplish the
yeah.
whole job application searching and everything, I did do that. But aside from that, I got some letters from you guys about some kind of class, which was nice. But like I told you guys, I'm actually taking a lot of the classes from from tech, which you guys asked me to bring in the classes I've completed so far, right? And I recently just completed this one, which is the intermediate to Excel, which me and math.
Can I write these down in your notes?
Me and math are not huge friends, but me and computers are. And which another story going back to Alan McCandless was fighting with Alan McCandless back in the past to try to get a computer, because if I could have gotten work back in the past with computers, we wouldn't be here now. But you know,
you did web design. It looks like web design, Excel, intro to Word. So you've done them.
Right, and you know, trying to get my hands on an actual working computer that can do something now, still hard and far off. You know, one of these days.
Good
right.
job, Nick. This is great. You did all this in February and March.
Right, and
Nice job.
here in April, I've actually already committed to the classes. So the lady down there, Glenna, who actually arranges the classes, I've already signed up to be enrolled for classes for April. So I'm already going to be in classes at the same time this is going to be happening. But
Are there computer classes, Nick?
yeah,
Okay.
but I do have a blast from the past.
Yep, that's
Oh,
good.
you do?
That is, and this was done right after the attack. So, if you can imagine what it's like being in this class surrounded by Baker people, and you want the people in the classroom want to talk about contemplating change, accepting whatever, blah, 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 blah. So basically, I was told in that class to accept that it was my fault for being black and all that stuff, and that's what that whole class kind of rolled into. And Alan got an earful, just to make that story real short. And then my favorite part about that whole meeting with Alan is during that class is apparently it's a multi-day class. They make you draw a timeline. So, and there's nothing like having to be forced to think about your entire time in a place that you think is hell, which Baker City has nothing but bad memories. So there you go. This is my entire timeline of what it's like to be in Baker City. Every day going to work, coming home, basically having to deal with people in Baker. Every day in Baker is basically laid out on that timeline for Alan in color.
I wish I knew how much this has if this has changed very much since the last time you did it. Are you interested in doing it again?
Not really.
It's Dawn Rowe that's teaching that now, and
Not
I know
really.
you know Dawn.
Not really, because not much has actually changed. That is actually still the same.
You were very angry and very hurt, weren't you, during this time?
Not hurt, angry, pissed off, and still my time was wasted, so much money was wasted, so much of my time was wasted on the fact that, you know what, DHS helps people get out of areas that bad.
Are you saying, Nick, that you want help getting out of Union County?
Yes.
Okay.
Still with that, just like I was in Baker County. 100% on that.
Where would you like to go?
Still with the whole, if I'm gonna have to still deal with Oregon, I would rather be in Portland.
Okay.
Or, you know, Western, you know, Eugene, anything like that.
Eugene, any western part
Any
of Oregon?
culturally acceptable area where people live doing whatever they want, you know, can be whoever they want to be, can listen to whatever music they want, you know, because, like, for instance, right now, currently the apartment building that I live in, you know, is a little miniature scale version of Baker City.
Okay.
All right. People get to do and say whatever they want, and
This is really extreme.
and you want to say extreme,
Well, I was looking at
But-
your personal strengths.
but the thing is, in the HUD apartment that I live in, it is the same exact way. And I recently had a 2.5 hour talk with the director there about how rules don't apparently apply to all the other tenants there, but here I have all these police reports in which the cops come over to my apartment. I basically get apologized to because I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm not breaking any laws, but I'm basically having a hate crime committed against me. I'm being racially targeted, I'm being intimidated, you know, and people are getting away with it. But if these people were to say anything about me, instantly an eviction notice is slapped on my door. You know, if I go take out my trash and I don't see anybody in the hallway, no one even knows I'm even home, but they go to HUD and go, oh, Nick was, hold on, where is it at? Not this one. I know it said something about being violent in the hallway. It said something about a violent argument. Nick yelled at me, and it was he was loud, and it was a loud, violent argument. Now, a few problems. One, never saw this person. Two, no one ever heard an argument. Nobody. And we're talking about an apartment full of people who will call the cops about anything, and I do mean anything. The cops hate this building because people call the cops about anything just to find out it never happened. No one knows what anybody's talking about. And the part where I apparently have to walk around with a camera all the time, which is kind of annoying, just to take out my trash, just to go to my car, just to come see you. You know, if I want to take my dogs outside, you know, I got YouTube videos. People on YouTube have no idea why I'm filming these videos. They think I'm watching, I just like filming a video to watch my dogs run around. Not really. I can commit that to memory, and that's just fine for me.
It's a safety thing for you.
You know, but here it is. I received a written complaint about you having a confrontation with someone in the hallway. You know, that you were loud and in this person's face in violation of the house rules. Now I wrote a letter, and now I had to write a letter basically stating that I have no idea what.
This happened in January.
Yeah, and I had to write a letter basically stating that I have no idea what you're talking about. That not only did I not see anybody, but I haven't even been awake during the daytime. That I'm building up for all these classes that I'm about to take at Tech, that I have to start being awake really early in the morning. You know, and I have a bunch of work that I've mentioned to you guys prior that I've been doing on SoundCloud.com. It's a bunch of music. And in order to make music, to write songs, you have to not only write the songs, to produce the songs, you have to design the instrument and everything, and to even go through the elements of making a song. You know, it takes forever.
What did you call that next?
SoundCloud.
Okay.
It's one word, .com.
And you're
And
writing music and lyrics?
I don't sing. I don't like.
You're writing music?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can just call it techno or electronic if you want to. I DJ. I have turntables.
Okay.
I've owned them since Baker City. I don't know.
So you
I've-
have experience. You're a DJ.
Yeah. I don't play.
You're just not
I don't.
working as a DJ
No.
right now.
No, I've been DJing for 15 or so years. I just don't DJ out here because of all the racist stuff that I've had to deal with. And it's impossible to DJ in an area that you've been racially targeted in. You've had to deal with unjust treatment. And it's just not safe. And I've had to replace my equipment, which costs me. And I can't afford to replace because my jobs have been stolen from me. And if you check with the employment department, they will actually tell you that I've been awarded my unemployment, and that if I were to actually land a job, all I have to do is work maybe 10, 12 hours, I get my unemployment again.
Okay. And you want 10 to 12 hours a week?
No, if I work 10 or 12 hours period, I get unemployment. I start getting unemployment again. From the last job I worked, I get instantly awarded to me. That's if it's still, if my insurance is, still valid. Otherwise, they'll just have paperwork of it, records of it. But
Can I take a copy of this now?
Yeah, and then, you know.
Did they respond back after you
Well,
wrote to
yeah,
them?
yeah. HUD responded back with it. They responded back with it going, yeah, we know it's fake. We know that they're lying.
They told you that verbally?
Yeah. And then when I went and had a meeting with them, they know that it's the same 3 tenants that have been lying, that they're actually, well, see, the thing is this is all connected. This letter's connected with that letter. It's the same tenants. It's a tenant named Faye Poor. I don't know the last name of this lady named Diane. Now, so far between the police officer and a staff member named Mark, they do know, oh, and Sharon, something or other at HUD, they do know that a shit ton of racial remarks have been made. I mean, on up to, oh, when Nick lets his dogs out, he only lets them out for 20 seconds, and that's not long enough. Like, they have no idea. I let my dogs out for like 2 or 3 hours to run around in the field.
Oh, that's none of their business.
I mean, it's none of their business, but they're sitting here trying to micromanage everything I do, even though HUD knows flat out that because my girl's
This is what
mind.
you've been doing with
I
those.
mean, look, with HUD, it's been like this ever since day one when I moved into there. I've had the Beverly file, which I can show you the stalking thing. I actually found the actual stalking. It's here. The stalking citation is here.
Okay.
Yes, I was so happy I celebrated it.
Mm.
That I celebrated actually finding it, not actually getting it.
Have you already submitted this in to them?
Yeah, but it's already submitted. There's a copy of it. Here's the police log number. You can look that up.
So
HUD has a copy of this police log
For
number.
this, or
For,
for your response back to
hold on.
this?
Hold on. I wrote a copy on the one that this
Well, Nick,
corresponds to.
all you've been
This-
dealing with the last
this-
couple months
Okay, the police log number corresponds to that letter.
is conflict with your neighbors then.
But it's not conflict with my neighbors. It's the part where my neighbors have absolutely gone to great lengths to just make up shit to get me evicted. Not only that, but I've been racially targeted by these people and straight up intimidated. And the part where the neighbors there have gone to great lengths to try to look up, like presidents throughout the rules to try to, oh, my emotions are being, messed with, he's doing this and it's making me really sick.
Can you guys transfer your housing thing
And-
to Portland if you want?